Fuck. Okay, after like a billion attempts, oh my god. So I had like the stupidest like editing issue. I had the use plus button to like, fast forward and replays, right? I had the plus button set as my Fraps recording buttons. Every time I would like fast forward, I would turn it off and turn it back on, like back and forth. Those, holy shit. Okay, so all right, I got it now. We're good. So anyways, this is part 3. This is part 3 of thinking through your own builds, and my build was, of course, the 1 Dragoon expand, and this was my first game to try it against, and who better to try it against than barcodekilla, who I believe I've heard this name before. He is a grandmaster player. I'm not sure what race he plays. I believe Protoss, but I'm just a pleb newbie Protoss player, so he doesn't really give a shit who he plays as. But thankfully for me, the only thing I was looking for this game was A, I want to do my build correctly, and B, let's see what holes are in my build. And thankfully, this guy does me a huge service by doing a early aggression build, which is exactly what I needed. I mean, he wasn't trying to help me out at all, I don't think, but he effectively did. So let's see what happens. So my scouting, this is actually one thing I can say was bad about this game. Look at that, terrible scouting. Okay. Alright, so initially, actually I didn't catch it the first few times I watched this, but my scouting was really delayed, right? Damn, okay. Alright, that's something to note later. But what I want to note, too, here is something we're going to find out in the next part. Well, not the next part, but the next segment of the same video. So, one thing we can take away from this particular video is when does he push out. He pushes out at 6 minutes. Let's slow this down a little bit. He pushes out at 6. Now let's keep in mind this is a relatively short travel distance to my base. If this was like a cross position, this would actually take a lot longer. But he arrives at my base at about 6:45. So he comes in with 6 Marines, 1 Vulture, 2 Vultures, 1 tank. This is a powerful little push. This is a strong-ass little push, and let's see what happens. Let's just speed it up, boom, 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 and he just freaking destroys me. He takes out my Nexus, and look at this. He takes out my Nexus at the very instance his command center finishes. Is that not like the most beautiful thing in the world? Wow. Damn. So this, what can you do, right? So let's think about this. He pushes out. He gets my base at 6:45. With 6 Marines, 2 Vultures, and a tank. At that point in time, so I lost 1 Dragoon on the way there. I had 2 more, so I had a total of 3. That's not very good. It's not very good at all. But let's, to my credit though, can we just take a moment to appreciate this little moment? I did not deviate from the build. I know a lot of people in a situation like this, especially against, a grandmaster, it's very, very, very easy to just say, let's fuck it. I gotta switch the plan. Gotta do something else. Just ask in control. He's done that. He's said that. He's done that in tournaments like so many times where he just forgets the plan and does something totally different. To my credit, I did not do that. I was literally being under attack, and while I'm being under attack, it's like, well, I guess I better chrono my warp prism. Like, obviously the warp prism isn't gonna help me, but it is, though. It actually is going to help me in the long term because I'm going to find out to the extent of which my build has weaknesses. So that's what happened. Now, how can we fix it? What went wrong specifically? So we found that the probe was very delayed. I was kind of like, I don't know what I was doing, but he didn't move up in time. All right. So when my Dragoon pushes out, and my probe, I don't see a command center. Initially, I thought, well, you know what? He's not expanding, so I should have seen this coming, right? But no, that's not the case either, because he could have very well have been making a command center inside of his base. That could have very well been the case, So, what am I to do? What am I to do? That's the question. I shall return back with the answer. So while I said I had an answer, this is just kind of what I came up with. I played a lot of games, not a lot of games. I played a few games with Balthazar, and if you watch Artosis' stream, You can see him and Artosis duke it out once in a while. And so it's pretty fun to watch, and he's a pretty good Protoss player. And all I asked from him was to just do a safe build and a very aggressive build. And I just wanted to get some sort of ideas from that. And unfortunately, I didn't really find anything too helpful, really, as far as dealing with this specific Terran build. I now know how to do a basic fast expand, but that's not... I don't think it's going to help me without making drastic changes. So I want to stick to my build, you know, I want to do what I'm doing and just make minor changes. So this is what I came up with. The plan is, so instead of 1 Dragoon and then expand, we're going to make a Zealot and then 1 Dragoon and then expand. So let's see how I do it. Let's actually like slow it down and see how this works out. So of course, you know, 9 Pylon, 11 Gate, but I think the key point here though is that Citadel. That Citadel times out at a point where the Cyber Core is almost done, and I'm just starting the Zealot. So I can just immediately just corner that, and I'll have enough for when that's done to corner out a Dragoon. Let's look at that. Boom. And also I pull guys off gas, as per usual. So this is actually kind of cool, the way this times out. And Dragoon pops at 350. And the moment that I'm curious about is when these guys will arrive at the enemy base. And it's looking like it's going to be about 4:30, give or take, about 4:30. Now, in the previous match, I actually took notes, got up my notepad, and what I found was that at 4:30, the Terran only has 3 Marines. 3 Marines. 1 Dragoon, 1 Zealot in his face at 4:30 is a freaking problem. That's a problem for a Terran. It's like reverse roles from Starcraft 2. Protoss in this game are very strong early game, whereas it's reversed in Starcraft 2. So he's got to deal with that. So 2 things are going to happen from this push out. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned too. I am of course taking my expand as this is happening, and 2 things are going to happen though. A, he's probably going to lose some army. He has to defend this. This is actually a threat. He might have to pull some workers. Some chaos is going to happen. So his army, his army that he wanted to push out with at 6 minutes and arrive around 6:45, it's not going to be as strong anymore because he's going to lose his army, some of his army at least, trying to defend this off. So there's that, and then I'm also getting scouting information. Before I was limited by, I wasn't able to tell if he had a command center in his base or not. This time I'm gonna know. And even if he walls off, he has to throw his army at me to defend this off at least. He has to do something. If he only has like 1 Marine there or a few Marines, and he's forced to like do a repair on the wall, something like that, and that's all I see, then maybe he is making a command center in his base. But in the case against barcodekilla, he didn't actually have a wall, so I would actually be free to roam into his base, see what he's doing, and I would know at that point, oh my god, this is a 1 base push, I need to prepare. And as to how I would prepare, I'm not positive yet, but what I can say, and let's move this up a little bit, what I can say, let's keep in mind 6:45 is when he arrived. 6:45. So with this altered build, what do I have? Let's go to unit tab. I have 4 Dragoons, 1 Zealot, 29 probes, and actually a 5th Dragoon on the way, which there's plenty of chrono to actually chrono that out. So 1 Zealot, 4 Dragoons is actually far better than what I had before, which is just 3 Dragoons. And if we take into account too, with our early push out, where he's going to be losing some army, it's fair to say that his push that he wants to make isn't going to be as strong as he'd like it to be. So I think this will work out. This is something to try. I know barcodekilla is going to beat me regardless of what I do early on until I get significantly better. But for now, I think I found some answers, and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to do this build from now on against Terran, and we'll see how it fares. So anyways, thanks for watching. More videos on the way. I think I will start another one as well. I want to get something going against Zerg, so we're gonna do some Forge fast expand things and see where we can transition easily from that. So anyways, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.